All right, kids, here we have the world famous, you've played his music, you love his music, Brian Balmages. Hi, Brian.
Hi, how are you? People always ask me, what do I listen for in my own music? And this is something that you guys can take into your own rehearsal. What do I listen for? What do I want? A lot of people think that I really want all the right notes or all the right dynamics or, making sure the rhythms line up. To be honest, I actually don't care about any of that. And you probably are thinking, what in the world? What are you talking about? I care about that only because those notes, those dynamics are a vehicle to what I ultimately want. And what do I ultimately want? Expression. I'm looking for communication. You got to think, when I write this music, I'm sitting there thinking of emotions, thinking of ideas, thinking of concepts, events, people. And I'm trying to recreate what I feel notes on a page. And that's what I try to do. And very often, everybody is so worried about the notes, which are important, and the rhythms and the dynamics, that they miss the whole point. That all those things are there as a very basic guide to help you start to tell your story. Those are the words. And the notes are you learning how to speak. Once you speak, you've got to say something. And so many groups out there play the notes and they play the dynamics, but they never say a word. And so what I want you to think about is when you play, are you telling a story? Are you telling a story that maybe I wrote in my program notes? Do you have something? If it's a piece about tragedy, is there some kind of tragedy in your life that you've experienced? And many of us have, even if it's a loss of a pet or a friend moving away or not being able to see that person that you really wanted to see. Are you grabbing those moments and channeling that through your instrument and making the audience feel that way? Are you making each other feel that way? That is what I look for in a performance. The notes are great, but if that doesn't happen, the performance doesn't happen. So keep that in mind the next time you play not only my work, but anybody's work. Music, for me, has been one of the most important things that I ever did in my life. Obviously, I'm a full-time composer, but I think music creates a community. We rely on each other. We stay with each other for years after band. I mean, some of my greatest friends are no longer playing in band, but I met them in band. They were in my wedding. They were my friends. They're my colleagues. But I think band also, and orchestra, everything, it's a way to teach this idea of compassion, this idea of this interpersonal connection, this human condition that we all have. And I think those of us involved in music tend to wind up with more of that type of expression, more of that compassion, and that spreads into everything that we do. Imagine what it would be like if previous people that were musicians playing and feeling suddenly were doctors, and they were lawyers, and they were architects, and they still design, they still operate, they still, fight for you with that same compassion. Imagine how much greater this world would be. So, absolutely. I think music is not just important, I think it's vital. I think it's one thing that will keep us human for years to come. And best of luck to you all. Thank you so much.